Good evening. It is I, DJ Gravitron. I'm coming to you once again with my Sludge show, 10 million pounds of you know what. Today is a special day because I have done an interview, my first ever, my big boy interview. Wow. I interviewed a local metal band called Deiphage. All right. Deiphage. I think they prefer Deiphage, if I remember correctly. I interviewed them a couple months ago, and I only just now grabbed the interview off the other computer in the other studio and edited it last minute, of course, because that's how I do everything. And yeah, it came out pretty good. I cut it a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the interview with a break in between to play their preview of two brand new songs that are unreleased so far, and then followed by a playlist that they have catered specifically for this show. I don't think I'll be able to play everything in it because the interview ended up being a little bit long, but I will do my best. And yeah, so I'm gonna play. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the little talk show warning thing, and we'll just get right to it.
You are listening to WONY 90.9 Red Dragon Radio. During this hour, you will be listening to a talk show hosted by one of our DJs. Please note that the statements, beliefs, and opinions made during this time do not reflect the beliefs of the station. If you have any further questions, feel free to give us a call at 607-436-2712. And as always, thank you for listening to WONY Oneonta.
Yeah, I think this is good. All right. Let's hope this is good. And anything if shit goes wrong, I can just fix it in post. All right. Cool. Okay. So, dark greetings and hail, denizens of Oneonta. Please raise your horns for the mighty Deiphage, a blackened death metal outfit composed of 5 members whose names are.
The Penetrator, Gibson here, starting on drums. The name is revolving. It never comes to an alternate world. There it always is an alternate world. And the next one is the band leader, quote unquote,
Avenzel, the singer.
Wow, that was really anticlimactic. And the second guitarist in the flannel,
Zarkath.
And the lead guitarist and one of the largest contributing members,
they're an Etar,
whose real name is
Shumway somehow.
Floki, get to know me.
And the big, sexy, big bear who needs to sit up and come over here.
Woo!
Floki the dopest from Moni, get to know me.
That is Monsieur Carlson. All right.
The
next question, sir.
Yeah, and, we also have one observer whose name I forgot.
He did not swear. He needs to stand up.
Don't worry. We'll fix it in post.
Stand up, Colin. Come here and introduce yourself without swear words.
Start this again.
My name is Colin Bowen. I play instruments and make music and stuff. And how's it going?
He's very good. He's our friend. He'd never swear.
May I remind you, Mr. Penetrator, that I am the host here?
Oh, I forgot. Well, you need to do a better job.
All right, so I'm sitting here with Deiphage. I got my my Deiphage shirt. That's
Deiphage.
Deiphage. Okay, I got my Deiphage shirt on. It's a little small, but that's fine. Getting this interview together was a little difficult because y'all operate on different schedules. I need to again, I'll fix it in post. Anyway, so first question is because again, like you guys are all operating on sort of different schedules. So how did this project come together in the first place?
Well, it would start with Gibson and the Penetrator.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty interesting. So we go quite a ways back. So you have to rewind to maybe 2000.
2007.
Even before that, let's go back to like maybe high school days, 2006.
Like 2006. Yeah.
A couple of boys and us, me, Shumway, Carlson, Copperwheat, who's on its own thing, Rob, Rob the Mechanical Hot Dog. We're doing our own band things. We started there. I went out to the Marine Corps. These guys went out to college. They did their thing. We came back together, call it late 2008, 2009, and we started our own FJ days. We won't say the name, but, FJ. And so we brought Jordan in. This man singing some black metal stuff. We didn't quite know what he had or what he was capable of at the time. We didn't know what we were either. And he went his own way, and me, Shumway, Carlson went our own way. We did our things. We had different bands, different groups. And fast forward to, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
A year ago, maybe.
It was a year ago, yeah.
Well, yeah, a year ago.
Last summer.
Guys. Yep. But we
You
got
don't
back.
have a mic, though.
We got We got back. Like me and Gibson got back together.
And Carlson.
And Carlson, like 3 years ago, we started another project, and then Virus Cure, and then Jordan asked us to see if he could get involved. And last year we got together in August last year and stuff, and we jammed out and stuff, and then we're like, wow, this sounds really good and stuff.
Yeah,
we all
this
have
works.
the passion for the music and everything like that, and we all have the similar ideas of what we wanted to do, and started jamming out, and then it's we just went for it, and we took a couple songs that we did for Virus Cure, which was me, Carlson, and Gibson, and then Norm came, and we learned everything, and we wrote some new stuff, and then now we're Deiphage.
Yeah, and I was the one that suggested that Norm join the band, because Norm and I have a long history as well that I will
Very
not
long history.
get into.
Why don't you introduce Norm quickly?
He introduced himself earlier.
Why don't you introduce him to the group? Because so at this point, it's me, Shumway, Carlson. We're jamming. We're doing this
Right,
band.
right.
We have
Oh,
Virus
so-
Cure. We have 3 albums. We have 3 albums already together. We know you from the past. You've come over and you've jammed. You've done these things with us. So we brought you back in, and we had this great moment with you singing lyrics on Necrotize. It was fantastic. You
Yeah.
you came in and you made us realize that, wow, you know what? There may be more to this than Virus Cure. There may be another part of this,
Yeah.
There may be a new band, and you kept dropping this Norm name. So we knew you from before, right?
Yeah.
We go way back. But Norm, we had no idea. So,
Yeah.
us, we don't quite necessarily jive with random people. We like our friends. We have a tight-knit group. So it's like, Norm. And we're all thinking, especially me, I'm thinking, oh, I don't know. This guy sounds really good. He's producing your stuff. Your stuff sounds really good. And, I'm like, wow, this is, I don't know if I want to meet him, because I'm worried that he's on another level. And you kept telling us, hey, this Normie, he's my best dude. He's
Yeah.
great. You bring him over for one time, and Norm, I'll let you speak in a second, but you were pretty antisocial and
100%.
and not at the time, and you came over and you just you won us over. You won my heart. So I'll let you speak. Describe when you first came over.
So what happened?
Speak into the mic.
So me and Jordan go back way back. We were doing our own thing for a while, and then out of nowhere, a little over a year ago, he sends me this clip to a song called Necrotizing. He's like, check this out. I'm like, all right. So I give it a listen, and these amazing production, first of all, amazing song, the guitar, the drums, everything set up, and then his vocals kick in, and I'm blown away. I'm like, where did you do this? I need to see that. And he just starts describing the studio and everything. I get very excited. I'm like, listen, if you can get me in there, I'm like, do it. So I think a couple months, 3 months went by, and I finally get the chance to go there. Super nervous, obviously, but we get there, and the whole time it was chill. The first thing we played together, it clicked. It was just,
Yeah, back
from there, it
in-
just kind of took off.
We did back of the virus. Yeah.
Back in the virus is how it started.
One of the first things about it was that like as a guitarist and stuff, it's like trying to find like someone that can kind of play like to your style and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely.
And you were like to my style, like you were just you played a riff, and then like back in the virus, you played a riff, and then it was instant. I knew, like, you started like a rhythm track, and then I threw a little lead on there, and it was just like I knew instantly.
Yeah, it was just something like you could instantly feed off of. Like
Instantly,
it just made sense.
It was perfect.
Well, plus you have always had to play rhythm and lead the entire time, so you're always tasked out with doing these things. And when somebody else comes along and is playing sick rhythms like you, now you can write songs and play lead.
It's finding a second version of yourself, and that's what Norm is. Norm's the second version of myself, and I.
And he's the first version of myself.
So, I mean, it's great. So.
Awesome. Now, I wanted to inquire. So, you guys talked about Virus Cure was the main like sort of gathering of all of you.
Yeah.
Jordan, it might be like a little Nardwar moment, but you had a project called Eternal Darkness, I believe.
Ethereal Darkness.
Ethereal.
Yeah. That was real old stuff.
Okay.
That
was like 2012, man. Yeah.
We had a song called Eternal Blackness.
Nice. So what were you working on between Ethereal Darkness and now?
Norm and I had our own adjacent metal project called Wraith.
Yeah.
So while they were doing Virus Cruor, we were doing Wraith, and then we eventually just combined forces, and now we're Deiphage.
Yeah, at first it started as a collab, and then it just from there it just transformed into Deiphage.
So when we first got together, we did our first jam. We essentially nicknamed what our group was Beck and the Virus.
Because it was like combining.
It was a combined voice. The voices of
before we decided to be a real band and pick a name.
And then once we started actually jiving and realizing, hey, we're family. This is going to be a real thing. And I think Jordan was the first one who actually took upon himself to be like, hey, we need to really create our own band name. We really need to create our own identity. And I 100%. Think so much of us were just so ingrained and so distracted by like the awesomeness of what we were doing that, at least I'll speak for myself, I didn't really care. What about you, Carlson? What did you think?
Well, we talked about a lot how like this project was becoming its own monster, because Beck and the Virus was like taking the two names mixed together, and we started jamming and getting so cohesive that it really was a new thing, and we wanted to find a new image and kind of atmosphere to that beast.
Yeah,
that's what Deiphage became.
So
and then
I want Carlson. I know you're like in like pretty much like every band in town. So you
everyone needs that bass, man.
So you know these guys since you were a kid.
Yeah, these were my original buddies I jammed with. I mean, I also jammed with Calvin back in the day.
Yeah, Calvin,
and that was just drum and bass. During college, actually it was more after college, I moved around a bit, and I met back with these boys, but in the meantime I had played with They Sent the Followers, Target the Viper, shout out to Mikey. But we reconvened, and now I'm playing also with Colin in the Died. So I got two really great projects that are ambitious. I'm really thankful for that.
Okay. What do you mean by ambitious?
Well, just active and actually trying to play shows and really break some ground with the music, do something that hasn't been done before. Mix a lot of the influences in. because this project's like a lot of doom and black metal and death mixed together. Me and Colin's project is like everything in a smorgasbord.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things I like about your music. It's got the I mean, with as many guitarists as you have, you're already gonna get like a strong like low end, but you're like in like your breakdowns or whatever, because I'm terrible at music theory. It's very like because my background is like I don't have much of a background, but what I listen to is like Boris and the Melvins, like really heavy.
Some of my
heavy
favorites
stuff,
too.
Full bass tones. So yeah, I do like that you sort of like blend
We're definitely
everything.
big on tone in some ways.
Yeah.
Some ways another.
Well, the nice thing about like what we're trying to do too is that we're trying to bring back the scene in Oneonta and stuff, because like 10 years ago there was a nice local scene with a lot of local bands that played around and stuff, and the venues just like didn't work out, or they ended up like closing, and like people got older and they ventured off and had their own lives and stuff. And like now we're trying to like bring back a local scene and stuff, and like the Pale Horse is really good for that.
Yeah, Pale Horse just closed though, isn't it?
Yeah, they're supposed to be opening up a new venue. They're in the works with the Foothills and stuff like that. And shout out to Nate and Eric Roberts for like helping out the scene and stuff. And but like trying to bring back a local scene, like trying to get live bands in town, something that everybody can go to, see a show and stuff like that. You don't have to go to Albany or Binghamton or Syracuse or the city to see a band, or, so and stuff, but it's like there's a lot of talent in this town, and it's we're trying to bring that back and like open it up for people to like go to a show every weekend and stuff. So
it's basically all of us and our friends. We're all like really good people, but really mentally skewered, and we want to get our jimmies out and really express our talent in the scene.
Nice.
Yeah, so we could definitely delve into this for quite a while. Maybe we'll get back to there, but I have a question for you.
Okay.
Have you listened to Deiphage?
Yeah, I have.
So how would you describe what you've heard?
Well, I mean, like you said, it's a mix. It's a mixture of, it's black metal at base with like death influences, doom influences.
Okay, let's go a little deeper than that, because to me those kind of descriptors are very kind of status quo. They're skin deep. That to me doesn't mean anything. It's kind of like you hear a poem, you read a book, you have a life lesson. Tell me something deeper. What does it actually mean to you? What do you actually hear? I just don't want to hear a basic descriptor. I know this is hard to put you on the spot, but this is what I want to hear in an interview. So let's expound on this.
Okay. Well, again, keeping in mind that I'm no expert on theory at all. I hear full tones, kind of almost like the sludgier sign, and that's where that's part of the doom influence. You got like the standard black metal like rhythm and lead like blah, 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 blah. You also like very very like Jordan's high pitched vocals about this like I don't know, like timeless entity, like
how does it make you feel?
Void.
You don't have to know theory. How does this music make you feel? How does it make you think? Don't think about it technically. Think about it emotionally. How does this music make you feel?
I think they're fighting.
I'm telling them to F off. I'm telling you, how does it make you feel? Because the most important thing, actually, that we do this music for is to actually make people feel something and to vibe with people. Am I not correct, Jordan, Norm?
Yeah, like lyrically, we are not your typical black and death metal band.
And musically, too.
Yeah.
We have a vibe. So I know it's a loaded question. I know it's tough. but to me, I don't want a descriptor. I want an emotional experience. So yeah, how does this make you feel? Like, how did you feel?
How did I feel? That's a great question.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, very sort of like, I want to say, it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of heady. It's very, it's actually relaxing. And I know a lot of people actually do like find black metal to be relaxing, even though it's a very like extreme sort of genre. But yeah, no, I mean, you're again like consider figuring everything together with like the lyrics too. Like it's this again like it's like a timeless entity like roving through space. Like it's kind of and I apologize for using an adjective. It's kind of a little like Lovecraftian to me.
Yeah, for sure.
No, absolutely,
Totally.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the vibe we're going for.
Yeah,
Really
it is.
immersive,
Yeah,
atmospheric,
very atmospheric for sure.
intense, but oppressive, almost like a big space.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely philosophical, but not in like a religious way. It's almost,
Absolutely.
I don't want to say anti-religious, but devoid of any.
Well, and it's not because
I think
it's not anti-religious. And Norm, sorry to cut you off because I really want you to get on this because I know you have a lot to say. So I'll try to keep this brief as much as I can. You know, I love to talk on, but
it's okay.
like Carlson said, it's not religious in the sense of trying to preach for one God or not, but it's religious in the sense of believing in something that's greater than us, and that's how we formulate this band, because we all don't necessarily believe exactly in the same thing or going for the same thing, but we all know and we all feel something greater than ourselves, whether or not it's happy or sad or good or bad. We all know that there's something greater, and I feel like we all tune into that. And some of the best stuff we've ever written, and some of the stuff that made our bands come together to be one band, is a jam that was literally just emotions and thoughts coming together without politics and religion and all that stuff that's just so talked on and so old at this time. We love each other. We're family. And when we came together, we didn't know. I mean, me, Shumway, Carlson knew that we're family. But, you know, when you added Norm and Jordan into this thing, bringing on new family, it just cemented something so much greater. And that's, the music speaks for that. And I'd love Norm to expound on this.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I agree with that. It's definitely something bigger than us. And I think the influences, like, it's our music beyond religion or anti-religious is very nihilistic. Like, there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
we make our own point. You know what I mean? Like, we make our reason for this stuff, whatever that may be. It's different for everybody. It's absolutely personal, you know?
It's almost like finding meaning in the nothingness is definitely
Exactly,
what brings up a
exactly.
lot.
Talk about,
Exactly.
sorry to take the mic back, but
No.
Norm, let's talk about how much this band cured and helped your anxiety.
Oh, no, I mean, it helped a lot. So there's actually a pretty dark side to this. Last year, I lost my father to cancer. I had met these guys right there at the end. I think it was like a few months I've been hanging out and my father passed. And they actually really helped me get through it. Like the music, everything. Like, so it was a huge impact on my life. Like I turned my life around within the last year. I'm in a different place than I was then, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot. We're really proud of you and just the growth that we were lucky enough to witness.
Right, and I appreciate that.
Beautiful.
And how different are we all since that one time you came over just to jam?
I mean, it's next level. Like, because we both had our own projects, but like, it's something totally different, you know.
And I don't think we could talk about our music and our bands merging without talking about that, because to me, those things, those
It was a
specific,
journey. You know, we went on a journey together, and that's this is what we have to show for it.
that's why we're
100%.
family, right?
Yeah.
Because you came in here pretty anti-social, you know, kind of shy, and you went through a lot of hard times, man. And we all did.
I
all
played a
did.
live show this year. Last year, I would never done that. Absolutely would have never done that.
It's huge.
You lost
Yeah.
family,
Yeah.
and where we came from within a year
Oh,
is
absolutely.
absolutely insane.
I know when you get to jam with the band, at least, especially when you vibe with them, it improves your technical side and everything. Like, you just become a better player, you know?
And your mental health.
Yeah. absolutely.
We've become therapists for ourselves. And I mean, look at Jordan too. Jordan, as a front man, has grown from also shy
Oh,
to what is he now?
he's
a
addicted to being a front man is what it is. He
By the
cannot
way,
exist outside of that.
he's
Like,
still single, I think.
Oh no.
Oh wait, is that radio
most front
friendly?
men, though.
No,
but,
yeah, it's
but,
fine.
but
it's
look
fine.
at this guy. This guy came in pretty shy, and I remember him back in the days. He was a great singer, but super shy. He came back in on one. Sean Wayne Carlson, thank you for bringing him in, by the way, because I'm the kind of guy, I don't really like people coming over. You know, I don't need to make new
Right.
friends. I got a couple of really good friends, and that's all I need. But they said, hey, you know, it's Jordan. Let him come over. I said, I remember Jordan. He's awesome. He's great. Let's let him come over. So this guy comes in, and we had this necrotized jam. And I did vocals and lyrics. Carlson did too. Shumway did too. And Jordan comes in, and he just spits his thing, and it was like, oh man, this is something else. Oh man. And
Even then, I was so nervous.
you were so fudging nervous. I know. All the fudging and cherries on top. You were nervous and so antisocial, and you came in and did that thing, and from that moment on, you have grown into, dare I say, a prima donna. No, not really. But you have grown into just an absolutely strong front man, a killer friend, just a beautiful, like, resemblance of a band member, and you have guided us. You've kept us on track through all the ups and downs, and you know, maybe a little too much drinking here and there. And between that, you and Norm, those struggles, that's what really joined our bands together, and I think that's what makes the music good. And Shumway is probably needing to talk. He's probably like, shut up, Gibson.
And he's like, hey, man, you've hijacked the interview. We got to let him ask us some more questions.
Yeah. I do love the antics. It's very amusing. Especially since it means I have less work to do, and I can just sit back and enjoy it.
He's telling
This
me
is true.
It's like, remember, it's an interview. Let him ask questions.
Yeah, maybe I should have reined Mr. Penetrator in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's saying it's like, you
I
got a
mean,
name
it's
like
in the
that.
name.
It's like,
Right.
you can't.
Anyway, moving on. What about like musical influences? Where are y'all coming from?
Oh
with that?
man. Well, start with me. Sabbath all day.
Yes.
Sabbath all
course.
day. I mean, I grew up like my dad showed me Sabbath, and it like terrified me when I was a kid. And
That's amazing.
yeah, I remember I came home from elementary school. My dad put on Electric Funeral, which is one of the songs that we're talking.
Yeah, I know.
play on that,
I know.
like-
I do know that. I do know that.
but I remember I came home like elementary school. My dad had the record on, and that song just terrified me. And I was like, I never heard anything heavier in my life. It scared me, and it influenced everything. And it's like, you know, I grew up like, you know, Hendrix, CCR, ZZ Top, Robin Trower, you know, all those guys. Like, I'm a huge like classic rock influence, and then like a bluesy influence and stuff like that. And that type of music is like you know, it transfers into metal really well, because a lot of it's blues influence, and it's like a lot of like minor chords or something like that. It's like it's just real groove, but like depressive feeling kind of stuff like that. And it's just like that type of stuff. It's like that that type of music, it just translates into metal so well. And I mean, like, a lot of that influences, just from like my dad and stuff. And I mean, most of you guys, and you know.
Tell him to show you Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah, Carlson showed me Cannibal Corpse, and then the death metal side of it. But like, we also, like, a lot of us too, like, a lot of us were in band and stuff, and so we listened to a lot of classical music, or learned classical music, and so we learned a lot of like how to like play. And understanding like polyrhythms and like some weird type of stuff like that.
Yeah, so you have a solid theoretical grounding.
Yeah, so it's like it made it a lot easier. It wasn't just like, you know, a standard like 1/4 time kind of stuff like that. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like with band, it's like a lot of the stuff that we did, it was like we learned a lot of like nuance and like learning like different like say like with like black metal, like classical music, the layers that are involved. We always say layers, bro. Layers, bro. We always say layers, bro, because there's so many layers that are involved in that type of music. There's something that you never heard. Like you could listen to a song hundreds of times, and then like after the 100 times you hear it, it's like, oh my god, I heard something I never heard before. But listening to the song before, it's like I never heard that little nuance and stuff. And like with like black metal, like especially, it's like there's a lot, it's very dissonant and stuff like that, a lot of things going on, and like that type of stuff with the blues, with black metal, with like a lot of that type of music, it's like it's just little nuances that you never really heard underneath it that like bring out a lot of that like soul and character in that song, you know. It's like, so like for me, it's like say like Sabbath, like, you know, everyone's like Ozzy and Tony Iommi, but for me it's Bill Ward and Geezer Butler. They're the two main people in the band. It's like, you know, it's the meat of the band. It's
bassist always gets snubbed.
The bass is always Geezer Butler. It's like Geezer Butler is my dude. Like, I'm a guitarist, I played bass, but Geezer Butler, that's why I love him. It's like I've written bass, like some of the songs that we've done, it's like I've written bass, and the bass is the focal point, and it's like, but like that type of stuff, it's like that nuance, or that underlying riff is what actually carries the song. It's like you know, like I love Tony Iommi, you know, to death and stuff like that, but he's got the most basic riffs and stuff. It's all Geezer Butler and Bill Ward.
Yeah, I mean the song, Black Sabbath song, that's called Black Sabbath.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The most unsettling part of that is like Geezer going like boom, like
it's all him. All the songs from Sabbath, it's all Geezer Butler and Bill Ward. If it wasn't for those two, Sabbath wouldn't be Sabbath.
Rhythm section, baby.
It's the rhythm section, baby. It's the rhythm section, baby.
Yeah, I don't know if any of you know the band Lightning Bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of you know, like, yeah, it's like two piece, like bass and drums, like, and if you're like what what's I forget. Oh, yeah, Brian Gibson, the bassist, it's just very technical, and that's really all rhythm lead is all there.
Yeah, it's the
exactly.
groove. Yeah,
all about the groove, all about the downbeat.
Yeah.
That's me, at least.
So what about Jordan's and Norm's influence? Because that's kind of the other side.
Yeah,
of
that's just my influence. Because I mean, I could go on all day. It's we're talking about like an hour of our music, like 2 or 3 songs, and I'm just like, I have like 30 songs I could like pick from. More than 30 songs I could pick from in every freaking genre.
So so this Jordan and Norman side of things. So
yeah.
I know I did listen to Ethereal Darkness, and that's more on like the raw.
Oh yeah, that's very raw. Very raw.
So tell me more.
Well, I mean, I didn't really start getting into music until I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I started with like Korn and Slipknot and stuff like that, and I just every time I heard something heavier or darker, I'm like, I just kept going heavier and darker, you know, like. And I've been listening to black metal for about 17 years. That's my favorite genre. So it's a big influence in my music. And I've probably been attempting to do black metal vocals since about as long. Took me a while to get any good at it.
Yeah, from what I've heard, yeah, like the vocal training can take anywhere from like a couple months to years.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So now my background is my dad started me on guitar when I was young, like really young. A lot of the older, he liked the classic rock stuff.
Your dad is also
old.
also a operatic, awesome, but operatic singer.
No, that's not mine.
Oh, my dad.
That's his
dad.
dad. My dad just played acoustic guitar.
Well, alter ego.
Yes.
But he got me started, and then I didn't really start listening to anything crazy till I was like a teenager. I started off with like same things like Korn, Slipknot, stuff like that, and then I got really into System of a Down for a while. And then a mutual friend of ours, Matt, actually helped introduce me some darker stuff like Behemoth, Belphegor eventually, stuff like that. And I got hooked at that point. Like black and death metal was my. Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll fix it.
We'll fix it, post. It's hard. It's like you're talking to metal music.
Don't worry, guys. We'll salvage something out of this.
Yeah. I should have expected this. So you guys have played a couple gigs. How have those been? Has been largely positive, I assume.
Turnout's been crazy.
The turnout's
actually.
been great. Like the crowd reception has been amazing. As far as us, I mean, I know I can do better. It's my second time doing it. I wasn't completely happy with my performance last time, but there's always next time. You just got to keep pushing through.
I'm always perfect.
He's not wrong.
And they will
He's
back
not
me
wrong.
up.
He's absolutely not wrong.
The amount of Deiphage shirts has been.
I was initially very scared to perform because I'd never performed live until this year.
He did amazing though. His first time, like he looked like
Yeah.
he belonged there. Like
It just looked
I
natural.
was scared.
Yeah.
Sick.
Vocals
But
on point.
now I'm like addicted to it, and I want to just keep doing it.
yeah.
And he
He's
almost
addicted to it.
passed out.
Oh, the first time,
Yeah,
yeah.
I almost passed
He
out
was
the
That's
first
'cause,
time.
How
the sound was kind of.
How does that happen? Like, were you just dehydrated?
Because his
Okay,
outfit-
so what happened was we started out, we couldn't hear the
Conceals
guitars. Like the audience couldn't hear the guitars, so we had some sound issues. And then we turned the guitars up, and then we couldn't hear him. So he's trying to push himself harder while singing a song that he probably shouldn't do it with, and it's a brutal song.
I was
like the
also-
lyrics. It's very
I had
rapid fire.
a whole outfit on, and it was very hot. I was
Yeah.
overheating real bad, and
Oh, it was very
Yeah,
hot.
no,
Yeah.
I did fencing
So
in high school,
sexy.
so I know how it feels.
yeah,
I'm a very sweaty person.
it was rough.
Yeah, but the turnout's been great, and the amount of Deiphage shirts in the crowd is like insane to me.
Yeah, I mean,
Like these other bands come
Yeah,
here,
a couple of
We've gotten a lot of local support, which is great.
and like
it's-
2/3 of the crowd clears out
Yes.
once our set is done. Just saying, we love all those other bands. Obviously, always come back and support. But it's been kind of surprising, honestly, the reception to it.
Mhm.
Really encouraging.
And we got some OG members of the Oneonta metal scene here. Well, Shumway's one of them. Dawson's one of them. Jordan's one of them. Not live, but in spirit. Maybe, right?
I mean, I was there for Dirty Fest.
I was there for
Yeah,
Dirty
back in
Fest
the
as
day.
well.
Yeah, you guys, yeah.
What
We
is-
were handing out Ethereal Darknesses at Dirty Fest.
Yeah, tell them about Dirty Fest.
So, I mean, so,
Shout out to Russ.
yeah, shout out to Russ. But, I mean, Oneonta's always had a metal scene. I mean, I guess back in our first days, it was bands like Two Step Sally, Betrayed by Fate, yeah.
Oh, Widow Sunday?
Widow Sunday too, but, you had like T.O.
Yeah.
and Tyler Logan and Russ Cantrell. Yeah, I mean, even Scott Hunter.
Yeah.
Like, you had guys that, Jeff Doyle. Wow. I mean, Jeff Doyle was one of the OG, at least for our
Yeah.
days in metal. And now look at him. He's what, like the director of Foothills. And
Doyle.
and probably one of the nicest, kindest, beautiful family men you'd ever know, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Same with Tyler Logan. Same with Russ. All these metal guys. Same with T.O.
Yeah.
Some of the kindest, beautiful, best family guys you'd ever know. Which is really sweet because metal always gets a bad rap, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And sometimes for good reason, because, you know, I think there's a lot of misguided people that cling on to this style because maybe they don't have any other means of expression, or they have mental health issues, or they don't have anyone else to go to. And that's sad, but I think overall the scene has been really healthy and positive over the years, and there's been a lot of really good people getting involved. I personally did a lot of stuff. Satan Place.
What?
Satan Place. Satan Place had a great crowd.
Oh, that's a venue.
No, a band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Satan Place.
Old band.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Me, Bob Taint, Rob, and a guy who will remain nameless because he's kind of a rooster. But, yeah, Radina. But,
We'll fix it in post.
this isn't a swear word.
Unfortunately, according to the FCC,
But Dirty Fest was a like a metal thing here in Oneonta, probably like 2010 maybe.
And Dirty Fest 2 was actually out at, like, the campground.
Yeah.
My dad and I, Sound Solutions, did sound for that one. But, I mean, you know, metal has always been up and down in this area, and a lot of people have really tried hard to make it work, and it's difficult. But, you know, I guess us now, Deiphage, is not so concerned about so much of a live presence as we are making really good stuff and having people who actually really care. We'd rather have a live presence based off of people that are really into our stuff rather than a live presence based on advertising and drawing people out on something that isn't because of us.
yeah,
You know,
like sponsored Instagram ads.
you got it. You filled in my blank words right there. So I think we've been really lucky, like these guys already said, and drawing out big crowds. And a lot of it comes down to Jordan, Norm, and Carlson, I think. Sure, Mike too. But these guys really just bring out fans. And they're such good people that I think the fans are genuine. And I would rather have 5 genuine fans any day than 100 fans that are only there because of what you said.
Thank you.
Are you one of those fans?
I suppose I am. We have 2 members exiting at the moment.
No, just one.
Oh, okay, just one.
Making a detour.
Yeah, that door is very, very heavy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Holy.
It's a studio door, bro. I wish I
We'll be
was.
back.
He will be back with a vengeance.
Just send him to the wolves.
I mean, it people are hanging
Don't
out.
talk to him again.
Okay.
And we never saw
that's
Colin
not
again.
cool.
And we never saw Colin again.
Oh no.
You should.
Oh no.
I can go.
That's metal. Anyway, so you guys, so apparently you wanted to play a new song,
Yes.
or something like that.
Yes.
We have a new song that we have not released on Spotify or anywhere.
Okay. So this is a Dave.
Hold on.
All right.
That's
So
a good question.
well, we can listen. We could listen to the song.
Do you want to listen to the song now?
Come on. You got more questions.
No, yeah, I do. But let's listen to the song first.
All right.
All right, fast forward back to 2023, and I will play these 2 songs. The first song is called Necrotize, and the second song is called A Parasitic Mind. But first, one mandated warning thing.
Attention WONY listeners. According to the Safe Harbor Act passed by the Federal Communications Commission, all non-commercial radio stations, which include WONY, can broadcast materials that may be deemed indecent between the hours of 10 o'clock p.m. and 6 o'clock a.m. Therefore, if you're offended by foul language and explicit lyrics, we suggest you do not listen to WONY during these hours. If you do decide to listen, then we ask that you respect the art being played by the musicians and our DJs. If you have any further questions on this, feel free to give us a call at 607-436-2712. Thanks for listening to WONY Oneonta.
All right, very nice. That was Deiphage with 2 unreleased tracks, Necrotize and A Parasitic Mind, currently exclusive to 10 Million Pounds of Sludge with your host, DJ Gravitron, pending the release of a 6-track EP coming soon, and also a live performance coming soon. I'm not authorized to disclose the date of that. Anyway, I'm going to give you a couple messages, and then we will resume with the interview, which is rather long. I'm sorry. We'll be right back.
Jesse, you must listen to WONY 90.9 FM Oneonta. Don't touch that dial. Jesse, keep it locked.
We are now resuming. Yeah, so what were you, Carson, you're going to bring up something?
Influences, I mean, you know stuff I like the Melvins, that whole West Coast Seattle. I was really into the Doom and Stoner first, probably.
Oh, Primus.
Yeah. Primus has always been a huge influence on me and Gibson. As the rhythm section, find that very important.
Dissection.
And I've always tried to put in what's the word? Put the slap back into the metal music, the slap and pull technique back in there.
Slap? What exactly is that?
It's like the funk technique of.
Oh, okay.
Ask your mom.
Yeah.
Well, if it's oh, come on. Well, if it's a funk technique, then I'm definitely on board.
Yeah.
It is a funk technique.
I mean, I'm all over the place. I started with Doom and kind of grindcore, and I didn't even like death metal really until halfway through high school. But definitely now I go anywhere from slam to grindcore, any Electric Wizard album.
You've always been on your own page.
Yeah, a lot of weird underground bands, Melvins, Helmet.
Yeah, I mean, if
You showed me Helmet.
Yeah,
you should listen. Yeah, I mean, listen if you listen more to my show. I always play just obscure Bandcamp stuff.
I probably will.
Yeah, or stuff I get from YouTube recommendations, whatever.
Those kind of bands are making a comeback nowadays with this indie metal kind of scene, Burnt, Melted Bodies.
People are into death metal's always been a bigger sort of scene than black metal.
Yeah.
But, more. I got I read a review of this one album I like. But the shirt actually I'm wearing under the Deiphage shirt of Lamp of Murmur.
Yeah.
Who I saw them at St. Vitus not too long ago. But on a review at Encyclopedia Metallum, but which by the way you guys are finally on now, which is awesome.
We're official.
Yeah.
Yes.
Patent pending.
But yeah, on an album review on there for Lamp of Murmur, it was by this one blog I like called Toilet of Hell,
Right.
but spelled OV, so that's funny. But he's so Morbid Angel long sleeves are in now again. They're coming to Albany in April.
Yeah, we're planning on going.
Yeah, that and
Morbid Angel is definitely a huge influence on us. At
We
least me
actually
and
just caught
Gibson
that
for sure.
at show.
Revocation.
Yeah.
Cannibal Corpse, we
Yeah,
just caught that show.
and they're even their
Such a good
whole
show.
career from the 80s to the 90s. Just
I mean,
Pete Sandoval.
well, Morbid Angel was we're talking about Jump Into the Fire Metallica days. Morbid Angel was coming out. I mean, we obviously I love Death, the band, but if you look at
They're definitely comparable.
but if you
even in terms of the era, it was the same time. Almost.
yeah, pretty much. But if you talk about true starters of that, it's really hard not to say Morbid Angel, honestly, because I mean I love early Death, but dude, Morbid Angel.
Yes.
Do you guys listen to Crust at all?
Yeah.
I
Definitely
Meebix?
I've never heard of them. There's this band called All Pigs Must Die I was really into for a while.
Nice.
Nails. I don't know if you consider that crust or not. It's hardcore, grindcore.
The crust as a category is kind of new to me too.
Yeah,
Just
it's
kinda
more like a
jumping into,
tone.
Amoebics. Yeah.
That really white, noisy, buzzsaw tone.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Like
noise rock.
Skinless.
oh, okay.
That type of
I was
stuff.
thinking Mortician, but
Yeah. Oh yeah, you talk about your influence.
Nah, dude, you're the man on that shit, dude. You showed me so much. I mean, I remember like back in high school, like showing you, like I showed you like Belphegor,
Right.
Hatebreed, some Exodus, and
You've helped me a lot along the way too. Yep.
But like later, after all those early days, like think about like think about maybe Pumpkin 6 years later. You were showing me all that stuff. Also, Rob showed us Macabre.
Yeah. Shout out to Rob.
Yeah.
Rob Stone.
Jeffrey
I mean,
was a boy. He didn't like his toys. Instead, he preferred playing with the intestines of Jessica around. Dog guts, dog guts.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, you keep talking.
That's a good one.
You have way of a better.
I forgot what I was saying.
Oh my God. Sorry.
Yeah, you
The
can
interviewer
answer
is
the question.
momentarily incapacitated.
We'll incapacitate you for like the whole interview, bro.
All I do is scour YouTube for obscure, weird bands.
Yeah, I do that a lot too now. But I mean, with me, it's like always ends up being like last minute, like day before the show or the day of.
Yeah.
Just frustrating. I've always been a weird person. Like my listening habits are very weird. I like
Same.
go a while without like updating like stuff on my phone.
What are your like top 3 favorite artists? Like transcend any style, just if you had to pick.
Okay.
Desert Island kind of stuff.
Boris, probably. Drexia,
Boris.
which is techno. None of you are probably familiar. That's fine. As for a third,
Deiphage.
I mean, I don't know. I think Nirvana, honestly,
Really?
people nowadays like to hate on them because they're popular, but that was part of like Nirvana was part of like
fantastic.
yeah, Nirvana is like I saw
I'm a Chains guy. I'm going Alice in Chains. Well, in terms of like amount of better albums, Chains is the king of grunge in my mindset. Lane Stanley, go to Mad Season. There's nothing better than him in terms of vocal, like,
Angst and
oh yeah, you got it. But Nirvana to me is like the Eagles. They're so overrated by a lot of people, but they're so deathly underrated by so many other people.
Right.
And Nirvana, I think, is better than Eagles. But
I would agree with this.
you know, it's kind of like Chili Peppers. You know, you love them or hate them kind of stuff. But if we're talking that era, you know, you also can't.
You can't deny it.
You can't deny it. You also can't deny Soundgarden.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And music now is just so lost. I love that grunge era. And I think Nirvana has so
Temple
much.
Pilots,
Because
too.
STP, bro. Oh, man. Core.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're best. But I agree with that. Nirvana, they have so much good stuff that's so underrated because they have an image that people love to hate.
Yeah.
And people are just so quick to judge things by image nowadays. And unfortunately, nowadays, image is kind of very true to how artists are, and especially in the mainstream.
Yeah.
But back in the day, I don't know. I guess maybe Guns N'
It's
Roses.
more
Yeah,
substance.
I mean, speaking of Nirvana, like Dave Grohl sold out.
I would
he
say
sold
so.
it, dude.
Yeah.
I fudging hate a lot of Dave Grohl stuff. Yeah, he writes great stuff. He's a phenomenal musician. But Foo Fighters,
drums a lot.
oh, he's a
Foo Fighters.
fudging
I was into Foo
excellent
Fighters
drummer.
in like middle school, and I grew out of it.
His stuff, I get it. He writes catchy stuff that makes middle schoolers, but it's bad. It's not good, and the newest stuff is absolutely terrible. I don't think that speaks anything about him. I think he's probably like a really great person.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh God, terrible.
Yeah, I think he may have gotten a Grammy nomination this year, and that's
Definitely
not, that's
contrived.
Not,
Well, Taylor Swift has probably gotten a bunch. That doesn't mean anything. Well, what was the guitarist? Was the guitarist or bassist in Nirvana that was like a Green Beret?
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Novoselic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That guy deserves way more praise than Dave Grohl.
And he's still giving it back to like the underground scene in
Oh
Seattle
yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah,
like
he's all about
all about sub pop.
not an old head, but a real.
You can't deny also that 90s thing of like changing the vibe that heavy bands would do from that, like even just the beats of the 80s that like hair metal subbeat to like a more groovy type thing, alternative metal.
Hair metal was better than our pop we got nowadays.
Yeah,
like
contrived.
Def Leppard versus Maroon 5. You know, like
Def Leppard hands down. Come on.
Yeah,
No
got the moves like Jagger, but you know.
But they didn't do half the drugs and live half the life. Wow. Yeah. Bunch of sellouts.
Yeah.
You know.
And even amongst that weird alternative metal scene, which I liked a lot because it just brought all the genres into metal. There was still crazy good death metal in the 90s and black metal.
I loved early I loved early Godsmack, Disturbed, Korn. I loved that stuff, man.
Norman, did you want to?
When it was still new and fresh. Well, Jordan's like, I like black metal.
Yeah, honestly,
Where are the blast beats?
Yeah.
What? What'd you say?
He's pretty stuck in his genre, black metal.
No, okay.
Yeah,
You wanna know
I
something
don't
black
even know
metal?
most of like what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot to offer within black metal. Have you been into like the Native American stuff?
Oh, you're talking about Blackbird.
Yeah, that one band.
Nachachwin, and then there's like the whole like Night of the Pale Moon set from L.A., which includes Lamp of Murmur now. I think he moved. I think he moved down from like the Pacific.
Yeah, I feel
Northwest.
like black metal is kind of like coming back a little bit. Like, there's been some album drops this year. It's fantastic. It's very excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's being given the spotlight finally.
And not black metal, but like Igor.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Or Gojira.
A lot of good stuff like that.
A lot of good stuff. It's not
That
black
song
metal,
is-
but it just made
Right, well,
bands
that song
pop.
from Conan.
Jordan's looking at me like,
Oh, Conan. Oh, yeah, Conan's.
So
Conan's
That's the other thing is Doom is finally getting some more recognition nowadays.
fudging.
Yeah.
Fudging. It's getting
Yeah.
fudging.
But have you,
Conan's
so
sick, dude. You guys have shown me so much good stuff. I love. That's another great thing about this band. These guys have shown me so much good music, and I'm kind of a pessimist because I'm like stuck in my ways. You know, I'm a big Chimera fan, Tool. You know, early Lamb of God before it's like Randy Blythe's a socialist. But these guys have shown me stuff I would have never seen. You and Shumway started it.
For sure.
Back in the days at Burmist's house with the pit bulls, you started showing me like opening up my world. But these guys came in the band, Jorgen and Norman and
Jorgen goes jogging in the morning.
some great stuff. And of course, like they show me stuff, and Carlson's like, "Oh yeah, I know that band." I'm like, "I've never heard of this. I live under a rock." Anyways, Jordan, you got to talk more, man.
I mean, you guys have been talking about like all this other kinds of music that I
Yeah, well,
don't
tell
really
us
know
your
anything
favorite
about.
artists. Like,
Can you
what
smell
influences
that
you? Because like
yeah,
it's
Jordan,
black
yeah.
metal, but who from black metal?
Yeah.
All right.
I wanna hear that.
So, the band that influenced me to start doing vocals was Satyricon.
Okay.
Love
Yeah.
Satyricon.
I heard some of the older songs like Mother North and stuff like that, and I was just sitting there thinking to myself like, I could do that.
What about like Celtic Frost?
Oh yeah.
Celtic
From
Frost.
back in the day.
They're not exactly black metal.
Yeah, I never really got into
Yeah,
it.
they
They're like
weren't.
a bunch of different things.
I like Opeth.
I mean, I was like into when I first got into black metal, I was like Dimmu Borgir,
Okay.
Dark Funeral, a lot of like Immortal, Satyricon, a lot of like the '90s black metal.
Okay. So not so much like the first wave.
Yeah.
Like Venom.
Yeah,
Well,
Venom
people
Bathory.
actually classify Venom as black metal. I know a lot of people have.
So
when I
they're
listen
more
to them,
like-
I don't.
They claim it's their thing.
It's like crust thrash, something like that.
It is more like
I just
that.
don't. I
Like
don't
black and
classify
thrash.
They always claim that everybody stole black metal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's-
Venom,
yeah.
honestly.
I honestly don't. I don't classify that as. But I do like early like Norwegian black metal, and I think you should talk about that because, well, poor Shumway's not here, but I think you guys like, when I was in high school, I was listening to like Bathory, and
Right.
I didn't understand it. I liked it, but you guys talk about all these bands. Like, I've heard, some of them I used to listen to a lot of them. Dark Funeral, Dark Throne.
Jordan, what do you think about Varg? Did you listen to him at all?
I enjoyed his music, but as I learned about him as a person, I no longer care for him.
It's hard to separate the artist and the music sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I mean, there's I was interested in Decibel Fest in Philly, and I was like, okay, I want to know what this venue looks like. So I was looking up YouTube videos of past stuff, and I found one, and he's like starting off and like driving there in his car, and he's got a Destroyer 666 shirt on, and I'm like, oh no, yeah, I don't know, Nazis suck, pretty much. And I mean, you
He's
guys
also become like a meme. So much of a meme.
Oh, it's one guy.
No, Varg.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's also kind of like a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Piece
absolutely.
of poop.
Also, Norm, say something. Also, like, you got a really good interviewer statement. Just do it.
Yeah, I've got nothing for you. Sorry.
That's perfect.
Okay, there you go.
How about them
Got nothing
Yankees?
for you. How about them Yankees?
Actually, I don't know if you guys heard, but there was a Nazi black metal fest in LA, and a van. Some people torched one of their vans.
Good.
So that was
They have that in
my Schadenfreude of the day.
Czechoslovakia or something. Some Eastern Europe movement has a huge
there's a lot of
Europe, it's big in Europe.
But yeah, Ukraine, Ukraine and Russia have Drudk, and then then there's the whole thing with what's it called, the Eastern Orthodox themed band. Batushka. Yeah.
Are they Nazis?
No, but they have the whole that they're a meme now because of all the splits.
Everyone wants to be like Nazis this.
I hope
Nazis
not, because
that.
I love
It's
Batushka.
You know how many countries are doing terrible things? It's like, oh, the Nazis. Well, but we can support Saudi Arabia. Like, they're so much better than the Nazis. I mean,
I think we're getting too close to politics now.
Let's get out of the politics
I
zone
was
here.
going to talk about my new band. It's called Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I feel like a lot of even a lot of the Nazi bands have some are really into it, and some have just extremely
Putin, sucking, Putin. Hi.
Yeah, some there's a whole
I'm sorry, I didn't know there were Nazi bands.
No, there is.
There's Nazi
There's a
bands.
lot of black metal bands that have a lot of controversy around them.
I have one more question though. So have you guys been following all the AI art stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think
A
about
little bit.
what do you think about AI music? What about AI black metal? What
I
would
hate
that
it.
sound like? Would that be a good idea?
No, it's a terrible idea.
Would it end up being?
You're
Would it
taking
end,
something
would,
out of
I mean,
would it end up being not Nazi?
It could be. I mean,
hardcore.
Facebook has the algorithm that kind
Yeah.
of favors that.
Yeah.
What's the point at that time? Then you're essentially saying
It's
we
taking
don't
the
need
soul out of it.
anymore.
Even the AIs, those things will take information from songs and songs and stuff.
I mean,
That's
humanity
already
kind
out
of
there.
ruins everything it touches anyway. So let's let AI do everything.
But they take.
Hey, let's cut humans out of everything. How do you feel about that?
It's still taking from real songs. It's basically copyright infringement if you think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, but
So it's
kind of like, hey, what do you
reconstructing
feel
that.
about robots taking over your life and creating
Not too great.
matrix entities that just create batteries out of humans?
That's one of my
Well,
favorite
you know
movies.
what? I like the song. It's very good. It's a great album.
Fantastic movie.
Double D batteries. It's a great
We
album.
were actually in that movie back in the
We're
90s.
gonna have to censor that too, actually.
90% of this.
There's a lot of non-usable.
Also, you're
We're just having fun.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I've been
I think that's your.
We
fault,
have about
actually.
10 minutes of usable material.
10 minutes of usable material.
No, we got a lot actually.
Listen. I'm keeping.
I think AI can be used for a lot of cool things, but they just have to take a chill pill
Humans
on it.
can't use anything.
He's talking about.
That's the thing.
See, men,
You
like,
can't
on a
have nice
boat?
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Are we gonna close on that?
I think you should actually cut.
I don't know what that
You
means.
should cut most of that and there's end with that. Honestly.
In conclusion,
All right.
bibbity bobbity boom.
Think about
All right,
that.
Jordan Norman, what do you guys have to say?
Asparagus.
Is there anything else we can say?
Asparagus.
I don't
Do you have any
really
more questions for us?
Asparagus. Oh,
Is there any like
no,
any,
and the last
any
question
question?
ran out.
All right.
Hey, listen, Tony Baloney.
I mean-
I know he's gonna cut all this. Shut.
We are working on our
Come to our pizza shop, 99 to 4. We sell meth and pancakes.
So,
Mad pepperoni and chocolate chips.
all right. Now, putting the Italian American stereotypes in the parking lot here. They during when I was listening to their 2 songs actually, which I'll I think when I broadcast this I'll play them after or before the interview. Yeah, they have a 6-track album coming out. I mean, do you guys have a date set or?
I think it's 5 tracks.
No,
5 or 6?
6.
Is it 6?
Yeah,
This
it's
is
6.
EP.
Dude, we play the set every practice. We have 6 songs.
666.
I've misspoken.
You're cut off.
Yeah, 6-track album. We don't have a date set.
7 string.
Okay.
2 on the 6 string. Yeah.
Excuse me.
But yeah, you said they're like pretty much done.
Shumway locked out.
Can we start that again? Because we totally effed
It's
that up.
It's Shumway trying to get back in.
Yeah.
Don't
Does
even
he want
let
to
me.
call in?
No.
Put him on speaker.
Oh my God.
Let's start that again because I forgot. we had
Yo.
6 songs.
You're on speaker.
Cut that shit.
What?
I forgot we had 6 songs.
All right. Well, I actually didn't get to edit the last part of this. So I actually don't even know what it sounds like. But yeah. So Deiphage has a 6-track EP coming out soon, and also some more live performances, or maybe a live performance singular, in the vicinity of Oneonta.